afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast. I'm your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, your only sanctioned source of comedy to entertainment. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma. In the west, it is Nicko fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the First SS Panzerdivision Leibstandarte versus the East. It is insane DevM fighting for America, freedom, democracy, taking on the role here of the 6th Armored Division. We got German infantry, Jager Infantry and Ostruben with double Panzergrenadier machine gun bulletins there versus DevM's heavy cavalry with triple infantry there as well. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe and share and press the bell button, because otherwise YouTube might do terrible things to me. Well, they'd like to. Double Pioneer MD42 start there for Nicko. Like going to be a tier 2 rush here. Again, very much common sort of established Wehrmacht metagame, at least for a large degree, versus the Americans there. Allows you to get fast into the Panzergrenadiers, which is what a lot of Wehrmacht players at the moment prefer versus the Riflemen. Plus the MD42s, of course, are good at keeping the Riflemen at arm's length. Rather than pursuing the Pioneers aggressively, MD42 falling up. They note by the way he's going for double Pioneers, double MD42s. That gives them obviously 2 MD42s. Lastly, to control the field much more effectively versus DevM. Plus, once it's got Panzer Grenadiers out, the 2 MD42s will be quite handy in supporting the Panzer Grenadiers as well here versus DevM's forces. You got likely here. Oh, might be going for some. Nah, probably just the third route. I was just briefly considering he might be trying for some fast lieutenant or captain, but that was probably not the case. MD42 setting up the second one on the way. Now, of course, he's got here a bulletin for an increased rate of fire there for 4% of the MD42, which obviously gives it a bit more burst there. Sounds like damage. Pioneers securing the northern point. Their third rifle on the way for DevM, rather than they're slowly being shot at quite a bit there. Pioneers for them. He's basically just using the Pioneers to sort of draw fire and deny the building there to DevM, because if DevM gets into it, it's been very difficult for Nicko to sort of deal with it, because rather than started building an absolute pain in the posterior to deal with. Quickly swapping out the Pioneers, since one squad that caused it's time to get a bit tuckered out there, having been shot a lot by the Americans. As soon as it begins pulling back, MD42 is advancing. Another one coming up here. Note he's setting up to cover up the flank here, probably expecting DevM to try and flank the MD42. Good foresight there, though DevM is not yet to do it. It's definitely not a bad idea to assume your opponent, actually knows what they're doing as well and will actually try to outmaneuver you. Now there, he has time to get the MD42 into the building. Though note, he was sort of like, oh dear, he's going to try and rush the building. I might just pop the Pioneers in just in case. I mean, we can see here, Nicko's being very cautious with the DevM. MD42 moving up here, probably seeing here, oh dear, he's going to flank up from the south. But now the MD42 can sort of cover the other side if necessary. A lot of action going on here. A lot of just swift maneuvering here with the machine guns by Nicko as he just tries to sort of predict DevM's movements. And DevM, of course, on the other hand, is trying to be as unpredictable for Nicko so he doesn't run into those MD42s. That is some really sweet MD42 play there by Nicko, and certainly one thing I think this meta might highlight more than anything is just, MD42 play is actually really critical for the Wehrmacht. Of course, I'm pretty sure most of the players would prefer if they could just spam Grenadiers instead. MD42 up there on the right and quickly suppressing them, very good. Panzer Grenadiers caught on the way there for Nicko, he has managed to take up. The MD42 going southwards here. No sign of dodging yet there for Nicko. I mean, we could see Jager Infantry for the ambush camouflage on the MD42s, D for the fleets and the Panzer Grenadiers and all that jazz. Right from them retreating. Lieutenant on the way there for DevM, probably a fast M20 to put pressure there on Nicko's machine guns. Smoke screen available. That will certainly make it a bit harder there for Nicko to use his MD42s too freely. And we got telemines up here. Nicko, of course, already likely expecting what's coming his way, and that's going to be, some fast vehicles here. Rifle caught there by the MD42 Panzers advancing. Again, good MD42 play there by Nicko, managing to keep pace there with DevM's frantic and frenetic infantry play. Second Panzer Grenadier squad on the way there for Nicko. You'll probably see some take after that. Oh, cancels it. Might be wanting to get that, like to make a nice company up a bit faster and then get out a fast 222. Since obviously, well, it's nice to have a telemine can only be in one place, and a 222 can be in many places, at least sort of deal with an M20. So imagine there, while of course wants telemines down here and there, he also wants the 222 ready at least to deal with stuff. Plus, of course, he might also, he can then always follow up with more Panzer Grenadiers in a command squad. Rifleman holding up here, Lieutenant there being shot to bits by the Panzer Grenadier. Slowly hosed down, MD43 positioning again. I mean, except for here, where again, he's, I think, primarily just doing it to keep that house out of DevM's hands. And, I mean, if you've got 2 machine guns, you can usually allow one to stay in one place, but the other one has to be more active in that space, what we're seeing here from Nicko. We got 1 active machine, and then we got 1 roaming machine gun. But really, this sort of part here is just a kind of sort of annoying feature of Kholodny Ferma. Like, if you're the West player, you gotta secure this house, in particular with the Wehrmacht, because otherwise you're gonna have a really bad time. DevM, of course, heading hard northwards here, realizing that Nicko's focused in the center. He's basically going to try and outmaneuver the position. Go here for the MG42, and of course, this is where, in theory, the Telemine can be handy, because if he tries to circle around, he could hit the Telemine there. Pops out there. Actually, would have figured he popped the incendiary piercing rounds, except he does not have the munitions. Instead, I think what he's trying to do is bait the M20 into the Telemine there. DevM, of course, is just taking the path there, so it doesn't quite pan out for Nicko, at least not now. Got the 2-2 moving in, the Leica Panzer Speerwagen. I think, note the way he's moving it, he's going to try and move up here, then he's going to force the M20 to try and push through here and then into the Telemine perhaps, but didn't quite pan out there. M20 was a bit faster here than the 2-2 to get out of there. Smoke's going up. Almost guarded, he's going to have to part the crew, but at the same time the 2-2 is going to be overwhelmed. He needs to infantry up the support. Panzer squad that takes out the rear in the centre. Intense action going on here, and there you go, M20 down. 2-2 that is likely to go down here to the big crew's bazooka. Or... oh yeah, no dice there for Nicko. More infantry will be needed. Could go for the air command squad just for an immediate 5-man infantry squad. Of course, just add more Panzergrenadier. DevM with the 5th calibers and a Stuart light tank on the way there. And overall, DevM has got most of the map here compared with Nicko, so he's certainly in the lead here versus the Krauts. 2nd Panzer squad on the way there. Panzergrenadier here. Could definitely do with some reinforcement. The rest of the vehicle crew, if they sort of stay at a respectable range. And of course, got a bazooka, they should have a chance of sort of clearing them out. Though, with the rifling around, the Panzergrenadiers will have to retreat. MG42, healed up, good to go. Panzergrenadiers almost done. And no ambush camouflage yet on either machine gun. Could definitely benefit from that down the road. And there you go, 2nd Panzergrenadier squad out there. Ambush camouflage is a great addition to Panzergrenadiers. Mines up. Nice form there by DevM. And more mines. In fact, the mines are right next to the Telemines, almost. So, in theory, like, if these mines go off, they could set off the Telemines, which could get a bit ugly for Nicko. Of course, on the other hand, that could work the other way. The Telemine goes off on DevM, and then the mine also goes off. So that could theoretically also backfire on DevM. So that's a bit of an interesting situation. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if they're quite close enough, but it does look like they're sort of sufficiently close that it could happen. Stuart sitting out there for DevM now. Going straight for the MD42. More Telemines up here. Might just been spotted there by DevM, though. Of course, it is worth noting DevM has no re-echelons, so he's got no minesweepers. Assault continues up northwards there. MD42 Panzergrenadiers, mines set off. Note where the Panzergrenadiers are moving. They're moving up on the retreat path there, or the expected path to get out of there, so they can just quickly, have an increased chance of getting some good damage in there. And of course, if he ends up retreating so slow, increased chance of just wiping them out. Good work there and good maneuvering by Nicko. Arriving going for the centre point. Got the Stuart heading northwards here for DevM. And the question is, what will Nicko go for now? Another 2-2, Pack 40. Jager Command Squad, more Panzergrenadier. Got the Pack 40 on the way there for Nicko, and the Leibstandarte in the south point, they're being secured. Fifth cavalry and the Panzergrenadier hold up here behind cover, already halfway to 52 with 10 kills, very good. Mines up also there from DevM. Pioneers holding up, and the Pack 40 is almost down there for Nicko and the German army. MG42, this is the 50 caliber and also the Stuart. Looks like they're going to try and deal with the 50 caliber first. Could pop incendiary piercing rounds just to increase the damage. It also maybe sort of force the Stuart to back off a bit, since with incendiary piercing rounds it does have a light chance of doing some serious damage. 50 caliber there almost taken out, close to death, took a lot of damage. And there we go, realising there's a flank from the south, the shift machine towards there. Now back to the Stuart. Really pop incendiary piercing rounds, he's just going to try and fake it out on his opponent somehow. Panzers moving in here, they're going to try and flank about here. Oh, might actually be aiming here to get a wipe on the retreating lieutenant. A nice idea here by Nicko. That we got Ralph Squad there, ready to open up the Panzergrenadiers. Still, Nicko's not deterred. He wants that lieutenant dead if possible. Yup, he's definitely aiming there for a wipe. MD42, they're close to being destroyed. We got the incendiary piercing rounds up here, posing with the Stuart light tank, doing some damage. Panzer moving up, Pack 40 shooting. There we go. Stuart's main gun is out. Could he take out the Stuart here? Could he take out? Oh, it's exposing the side, increasing the chance of the incendiary piercing. Oh, he gets it. It actually paid off there for Nicko, the madman. He didn't get the lieutenant, but I'd say getting the Stuart pays off pretty well as well. Almost got the vehicle crew there, but no, last man with a bazooka is a survivor. A man with a will to live. 50 gun, we got a mortar out here for DevM. He's had enough of Nicko's machine guns. He wants them out of commission. So in the Heartland again, just have a nuisance. A well-handled pair of machine guns can be, though. He needs to get that one out of there. It is very low on health, low on numbers, and one good mortar could take it out for that matter. One good flank. But the question, of course, is Nicko expecting DevM to go for a mortar, since most American players tend not to go for them. So we'll have to see what happens, but it really should get the machine gun out of there. Setting up their possible push for point. We got Jager Command Squad was all here. Panzers holding up. Got 5th Cavalry joining in as well there. Pack 40 repositioning. Could try with a bun grenade here. And this again is also where ambush camouflage has been great, because he just had his opponent, you know, not think there's anything there. Then once it got within effective range, kill them down fast. Machine gun, ooh, quickly retreating, very good. In the south, Panzer Jager Command Squad going there, pushing hard down. We got the mine in the way. Still no re-echelons from DevM though. No attempt at sweeping mines. Oh, they're setting up the sandbags right by the mine. Panzer goes up north, they need to retreat. DevM is committing more and more forces, and the Panzer Grenadiers can only hold the line for so long on their own. Oh, we've got one in machine gun at least there with his ambush camouflage. Very good there for Nicko. Sehr good. Sees in the south, even as losing the north to DevM. And we got another M20 for DevM at this stage. Like, he's already lost quite a few light vehicles yet. Instead of taking up, he's committing to more light vehicles here versus Nicko, who's taking up. Meanwhile, that's an interesting move there by DevM. Bold one as well. Yeah, Command Squad then going for a flank. They're going for the mortar, rifling it off. Sehr good. Try and take out the mortar crew there. Didn't quite land. The vehicle crew, they need to get away before they get annihilated. In fact, here for DevM, it might be a tad too late. This is in the northern mine, and point again mining up here. Very consistent, good work there by DevM. What will DevM commit to next after a second M20? You really don't see that a lot. And that is his third light vehicle there. Going before opening up here from behind a pair of old wooden crates. Surprised the Americans quite spectacularly. Panzer going to be hit caught by the M20. Still got the southern field for now. M42 might try and reposition to deal with it and pop into the opposite rounds. Of course, the question is, can he do this in time, and can he catch them and work out with it? There you go. Popped it, but DevM saw through it and quickly backs off wisely. Panzer move from the north right from their court and quickly host down 50 cavalry position, trying to deal with a flank here. But of course, this opens up for a flank from the other side. Although they might run into the mine here, and this could possibly get set off the telemine. Or not, he gets the 50 caliber there, he wipes it out. Excellent work there. Grabbing the 50 caliber, of course, that will have to retreat through the mine, possibly. Ralph Scott retreat as the son of Thunder Something the 5 machine gun, and the Pioneers set it off. Yes, the telemine went off. Thankfully for Nicko, the Pioneers weren't quite positioned where they got them all killed, but still he lost one more than normal because of the other mine explosion. But he could have suffered a full wipe there. So yeah, that was a bit of a strange series of coincidences there that paid off for DevM. So Paul McCrop there for Nicko, and of course DevM is going for another M20. The madman, the absolute madman, another M20. What is he planning with all those M20s? Another mine goes off there. So many M20s though. I mean, there's a bold strategy there by DevM. Very bold strategy. The crew there stopped by the MG42. Are the M20 moving about? Will he be laying down a lot of M6 anti-tank mines with them? Or is there something else going on there in DevM's mind? Is he seeing something we aren't? Yeah, Command Squad hunting out, ambushing the M20. Bit too quick on the trigger finger there. Right now he's equipped the Panzers with G43s. And he's about to run on squad into the mine there. Kaboom, half the unit gone in the blink of an eye. Take off for DevM, so he's going to go for the captain and anti-tank guns. It's meaning M20 and anti-tank guns. Again, like DevM's strategy is something else. Telemine there, spotted and disrupted. Rather than get their Pioneers getting shot at. Enough, he's not pulling up. They spoke well about the MG42 covering up behind him. We got a Ostwind out here for Nicko and Deutschland. The Ostwind Flakpanzer. 50 caliber there versus the rifleman. Rifleman up from the north side. Also got the M20 there. We got an MD42 though. Not send the armor piercing rounds to allow the M20 to rush it down and clear it out. And going to the armor piercing rounds now being packed up. He's losing crew members fast. And there you go. The M20 is getting shredded. Of course, with that armored skirts, this is much more vulnerable to them as well. A formidable wall there of firepower there, which held back DevM. At least for now, we got 385 versus 388. Victory points wise, they're incredibly close to each other, and certainly also command point wise. And population, although we can see there with the Ostwind, Nicko's made a bit of a leap here over DevM. So there we go. Flak Panzer IV Ostwind, mobilized for Nicko and the German army. Troops are healing and forcing. Got the company command post active. Flak Panzer setting out for Nicko. Turn the south here versus advancing pioneers, both minesweepers. He's clearly worried about mines. I mean, he's been losing a lot of stuff to mines. I mean, obviously it makes a ton of sense for Nicko to get minesweepers out. In particular after that telemine surprise he got there from DevM. 5th car there being a problem. We got the M20 moving in. But he needs to rush it before it begins switching on to armor piercing rounds. Just tear through the M20. In the center here, wrapping up versus the Flak Panzer. Their cover is rapidly evaporating before the might of the Flak Panzer. MD42 joining as well. There we go. Cover gone, suppressed and routed. Pioneers somehow holding off the Lieutenant there. And we got a big push of all from the Panzers there. And that is just immediate rout here, as DevM does not wish to tangle with all those angry Germans. And a tank following up there for DevM. Malta is on the fire here from the Flak Panzer and immediately routed as Nicko strikes hard for Deutschland. M20 there quickly throwing down a smoke screen to cut the retreat of the mortar. Nice combo there, and we got Panzer of course with the combined arms bonus, more easily able to keep pace, but the mortar as it retreats, and we could see what there on DevM's mortar crew. Yes indeed. Pop goes the weasel. And destroying the mortar because he can't grab it, and obviously does not wish DevM to gain control of it again. Captain moving up, that's going to like to try and navigate and deny its distraction to Nicko. Got the bomb grenade off though. And there you go, mortar crew expires once more. And the mortar also basically just breaks like a cheap Chinese toy. Flak Panzer into the M1 anti-tank and their direct piercing hit. Another hit there as well. Down to half health. Another hit, almost got the Ostwind Flak Panzer there. Straight to the MD42, which just hosts us through the M20 there. So he has upgraded with armored skirts. I'm guessing DevM's plan now is to somehow stall for the Pershing after all of this. That still seems a bit peculiar. And with the Flak Panzer, DevM's M20 strategy is encountering some more robust issues. But there you go. Yeah, command squad with the M20 quickly taking damage out and open. They are easy victims for the M20 to just tear through. We do get a Panzerfaust off there. Oh, no, disrupted. Again, the M20 is actually doing heavy damage there. In the south, Nicko's assault is progressing smoothly here as DevM is struggling to contain such a robust assault. But there you go, trying to flank from the north, catches several support weapons off guard. Could take out the Pack 40, maybe turn against Nicko. That would be great here for DevM. And there you go, Panzergrenadier with ambush camouflage, ready to surprise the advancing Raven Lieutenant. Though they don't get the ambush camouflage going off there, it is a bit erratic, if you will. So sometimes, even if supposed to, the ambush camouflage bonus will not trigger. Either way, the Panzers there doing heavy damage to the Raven Lieutenant out in the open. Panzer there close to the east. We've got the 5th Cavalry coming up. In the north point, they're secured. Nicko can now go for a Panzer 4 here versus DevM. He could also just go for another Flak Panzer if he wants to. There you go. Collapse in the south here due to the M20 handling. And Rifleman ultimately failed in the face of the Panzergrenadier. The wooden crates were too formidable a fortress for the Americans to overcome. And he's going for a second Flak Panzer. Wow. Nicko is definitely sensing something here, but it could very well be a dead end if he now gets hit with the Pershing, or at least any tanks, because Nicko has got no anti-tank weapons. So that's an interesting strategy there from Nicko. Got the southern trooper there with the captain. Pack 40 in the way there, of course. Oh, wait, I did Has entertainment really got cleared out, so now it's recruiting it though. First is repairing it to ensure that DevM doesn't immediately destroy it. That's going to be 2 packs and then double flak panzers. I mean, that's a very interesting build there by Nicko. So looking to take advantage of DevM possibly stalling for the Pershing by just hitting him with double flak panzers and just punishing for that. And then if the Pershing still somehow hits, he's got the double packs backing up there at least for some time. Casualties piling up there for DevM versus Nicko. Trying to being fixed up, we got the Osman there roaming about. No M6 and the same amount of from them to try and catch up the flak panzers. In the south, the M20 versus the MD42 and switching out to the incendiary piercing rounds. And then repositioning. And then got M1 stopping the flak panzer there. Other flak panzer moving to the basic. Could get hit by the anti-tank guns here if DevM's fast enough. Though there are no anti-tank rifle grenades nearby. Oh, there we go. Riflemen moving up. Could here punish. Nope. Doesn't set him on path. In fact, as the flak panzer got maneuvered. Second flak panzer moving in. Nicko spots on 2 versus DevM. And punishes him for extending his anti-tank gun then. Forces there. Got it cleared out. Might get off an anti-tank rifle grenade, but I don't think he'll be able to take advantage of there. Got artillery called in just to make sure. Then he grabs it. It's going to get punished there. Good hit there on the flak panzer, but the situation for DevM is still rubbish. There you go, bazooka hit. Anti-tank taking further hits there. Barrage is over. He might be able to rush recruit there with the lieutenant. Small chance of maybe taking out the Osman then. The one with the damaged engine. Sherman on the way there for DevM. Certainly no Pershings anytime soon. And there you go. Osman actually gets waves. We get a massive infantry counterattack from Nicko to just further push away the anti-tank and save the flak panzers. In the south here, machine gun almost taken out. We got one M20 down there. Bazooka drop. Close getting the MD42 there, but not quite panning out. Down close there though. And there we go. Gabalit landing on all DevM's banished up troops. Artillery called in with major, forcing the panzers to retreat, or they get wiped out. Sherman almost done. But with the Sherman, DevM should I think got a chance of pushing back against Nicko, who again has got only 2 pack 40s. So of course 2 pack 40s can create 2 for a Sherman, but on the other hand, if they manage to play around it,
tank support is here. Sherman ready.
It could give Nicko a pretty hard time of it. Also noting that the only machine gun not upgraded with ambush camouflage is actually his ace machine gun. The 5th cavalry has ambush camouflage, but his first MD42 does not. Still, an ambush 50 caliber, by the way, is also bad news for infantry, believe it or not. Good hit there, and there you go. Timed anti-tank rifle as well there. That's going to be down. Osman down. A significant blow there against Nicko, and a good chance for them to really sort of stage a comeback. Up north, the units are whelmed here by the M20 as well. They're ace level, by the way. 8 kills. Almost got the flak panzer. We got the pack 40s moving in, plus an MD42. But it won't be enough to save the Osman, and could even set off the mine hit. There we go. Telemine down. A double whammy there for DevM, as he doesn't have to worry about that one going off on his Sherman. Any other armor, really. So right now, Nicko's bullish and is hoping to finish the match with double Osmans, which ultimately did not pan out, is now biting him in the arse as he's not up against a Sherman, and there could be more on the way soon enough, in particular if DevM ultimate to grab the northern fuel point here away from Nicko and the Lapstandarte. Pioneers Blaze can trade alongside the Osman. Sherman need to get up there fast. And Rifle need to get out there fast as well, because they're definitely not bulletproof either. M1 they're taking good off hits there on the Osten flak panzer. Grab the northern fuel point, denying it to Nicko, and in south here, Jager comes out advancing on the rifleman. DevM Sherman has to be everywhere, but he can't be. Flak panzer going for lieutenant, pushing him away. Sherman good to go once more for DevM and democracy. Ooh, lieutenant went down there. Flak panzer plus panzer was there, coordinating for a decisive and lethal strike there. Bad news for DevM. Good news for Nicko. Going in for the pack 40 for Ken. He can steal and turn against Nicko. That'd be helpful there for DevM. And it looks like he might have a shot. Of course, let's be mindful of the double Panzer Grenadiers with the G45, in particular the ace level. They are quite nasty. They're Sherman going in here. Got the Osman down to half health. Other pack 40 sitting up there though. He's going to go for it. At the same time, the way he's moving the flak panzer does in theory help shield him a bit, but at the same time it also allows the building to serve as a shield there for the Sherman against the pack 40 there possibly. But there you go. Forced retreat here. Flak panzer rolling southwards. Pack 40 sitting up. They're obviously expecting where it's going to go. Of course, if he smokes it hit, there we go. And then he sort of... Oh, I was about to say sort of reverse move there. I'll wait some sharp maneuvering there from both DevM and Nicko. In the end, though, Sherman gets away, doesn't get the second Ostwind. Panzer IV on the way there. DevM can soon go for another Sherman. And up north here, we've got the entertainment of the Ostwind. Or the M20, not Ostwind. Panzer there taking hits, and there you go. Pack 40 shoots, misses. Both Pack 40s now under control of Nicko once more. Second shot there goes through, and the entertainment crew almost being taken out here, but the Panzer guns, there we go. Hosed down. 14 kills on that M20, 15 kills. Really doing some nasty work there on the Panzer Grenadier. Another Sherman there for DevM. Fixing down here though. Worth noting, it is a bit exposed in theory, like if Nicko were to somehow rush in with a large force and DevM isn't paying attention, he would quickly lose the Sherman crew, in which case he'd just hand over Sherman to the Germans. And a German Sherman is nothing to laugh at. Well, maybe a bit. There we go, M1 back in control there of DevM and the 6th Armoured Division. Directed on the Panzer IV, piercing the frontal armour with ease. It is worth noting, despite having gone for heavy carry, he hasn't really used the doctrine a lot. I mean, we've seen the mines and the sandbags, I think, but there's been no ranges, no smoke, no combined arms, and certainly the Pershing is starting to look a bit like a pipe dream at this point. Switch to high explosive rounds looking to ambush infantry and annihilate it. The A command squad get caught by DevM's Sherman. Shoots and killed some squirrels instead of any Jager command squad members. But Sarge, the squirrels, I bet they were Nazi squirrels. Carl, I bet they were Nazi squirrels. You know, all Nazi-like. Pushing away the MG42 there. Possibly a 50 caliber. No, that's one still in the center. Ready to blast away at any unsuspecting Americans. And go directly on the flat panzer. With the M1 even using armor piercing rounds just to make sure nothing bounces. Except German heads off their shoulders. Going up here, note with the deep flank here, of course, needs to get the entertainers to keep pace. Doesn't have command points. So enough munitions, I think, here for taking him. Again, this is a really good ability, by the way, but it's rarely utilised. There you go. Piercing the rear armour of the Panzer IV, forcing Nicko to fall back there. In the south, another skirmish here, he's got another infantry push again. Double Panzer Grenadiers with G43s and ace level. Bad news for any isolated infantry squad that finds them in their crosshairs. Another entertaining on the way there for DevM. He's obviously worried about Nicko pulling in more armour, and obviously also just wants to make sure he doesn't have to have the Shermans everywhere all the damn time. That's really called in the anti-tank gun. Oh, nice. And still also like to take advantage of DevM placing the Sherman right behind it, so it's harder for it to get away. Yeah, command squad charging through the machine gun crew. They're cleared out. Captain Maver's the 8 command squad forced away. 3 kills in the Sherman. South Sherman then moving ahead here as well. Backing up some infantry as they clear out that territory for the American army. Got 370 versus 203 victory points. Panzer Grenadier advancing on the rifleman. Anti-tank falling back. A lot of action still here.
We're at 200 points.
200 points left for DevM. 19 kills from that team. That one's really been doing some great work there for... Going there, go. Panzer IV down to half health. Anti-tank lands a splashing hit there. Piercing the frontal armour of the Panzer IV. Nothing further going in for Nicko. Probably now the Panzer IV, those two could also be helpful. Or just taking up, and there you go. Explosive hit there on the machine gun crew. They're almost taking out the entire unit. Second shot, though, whiffs hard. Back here, healing reinforcement. Will DevM go for more Shermans? Will he transfer with the Pershing? Will he go for Jacksons? What is DevM's next move here versus Nicko now that he's managed to somewhat stabilise here? And there you go. Nicko sends some team to go straight for the copper, and there you go. Panzer is unwisely ambushed the Sherman with just G43s and assault rifles. Well, assault rifle. It's just one. Now the Panzer IV there though for Nicko and for the first SS Panzerdivision Leibstandarte. Its insignia was a skeleton key because of Sepp Dietrich's name, and I believe Dietrich is German for skeleton key as well. Something like that. I can't quite remember the full details, but that's a neat little detail. Always wondered about that one, why its icon was such a key. We got the antennas there ready. Both packs were being pushed back as DevM launching an assault there. Worth noting, DevM has not researched any bars which could be of help there. And there you go, tunneling down the smoke screen, but it is taking a lot of damage here. And there you go, the M20 finally bites the dust, the third M20. You rarely see like that many M20s at all. He also could have tried to lay down mines, but I think had DevM done that at times, I think he also would have a better chance here versus Nicko's Panzerwaffe, but that's just me. Hand forming up the flanking end here. Sherman's, by the way, are very loosely coordinated. third Sherman away there for DevM. Machine gun routed in the center by the Sherman. Looks like some sort of epic clash is building up. Here we got Panzers, anti-tank guns all lined up in the same small area. There goes Sherman taking heavy hits there. In fact, rear is exposed. Pretty bad news. That's going to be a Sherman down there for DevM. Bit of a tactical issue, possibly a messed up pathing. Either way, that Sherman has his rear exposed. Just took so much damage in such a amount of time. Easily lying here, Nicko to take it out, and that's a big blow there to DevM. In fact, of course, that was also his veteran Sherman. Anti-tanks let me cleared out. The situation for DevM is quickly turning very hairy, as Nicko is just taking through not just his armor but his anti-tank guns as well, causing DevM sizable losses. And I think it really leaves Nicko now in a dominant position versus DevM, who's going to struggle to contain such a rapid German aggression. There you go. Panzer IV hits a mine, suffering engine damage. Other Panzer IVs moving in, probably just to screen off here, maybe buy some time. There you go, Sherman engaging. Direct hit here, piercing the frontal armor of the Panzer IV. Second Sherman moving in as well. Second shot misses. Panzer IV that takes another hit from the first Sherman, going down to half health. Seizing the southern leg, pointing to the northern being seized there. Machine gun on watch in ambush camouflage mode. Very good. Flat Panzer raising downwards here for the captain. Carrying through the captain, no matter moments, got 16 kills there. Veteran too slowly approaching Veteran 3. Sherman rifle going for the center here, up north. Further fight here. Captain and Major in icy straits here versus the two Panzer IVs. Artillery called in. Up north, Sherman has the machine gun there. Oh, looks like Nicko finally realized what's going on. Then retreat before he loses armor and infantry to the artillery fire. Direct hit on the Panzer IV was taking him out. But in the end, the artillery strike here did not do that much damage there to Nicko, and he's like, oh, that's down to half health, maybe a bit to there. Anti-tank swing backwards in the southeast. Sherman with the damaged engine has got ambushed here by the air command squad. Could open up there for Nicko to rush in with his tanks and take it out, at least try to. Another anti-tank there for DevM, as he's probably given up, hoping they're getting them back before Nicko just destroys them. Obviously does not want his opponent to get them back, and he doesn't need 4 anti-tank guns. I mean, he could get 4 anti-tank guns, but I would call that a very bad move by Nicko if he were to, like, grab 2 more anti-tank guns. Another Panzer fast, there we go. Panzer rolling in here. Gonna take out DevM Sherman and leave him just with 1 Sherman left. Oh, shot bounced. Lucky, but unless he gets several bounces more, I don't think it's gonna matter much. And there you go, the Sherman finally goes down here to Nicko's Panzerwaffe. Panzer there, there's an awful lot of American infantry are ultimately overcome. There we go. 3rd M1 anti-tank out there for DevM, and the 6th Armored Division's one still behind here. Major equipped with a bazooka there, peeled foot from the dead hands of an American soldier. And we got the MG4 to the repositioning. In heavy cover though, the crew gives away there. Bit too quick. Still managed to catch the rifle squad. Just a bit, but not enough still. And now we got the Sherman in here as well. Could see a wipe here on Nicko's MG42. Down it goes. Small, tiny tactical win there for DevM in a sea of otherwise very German-looking victories. Oh, the arriving vessel on the retreat path there through the Panzer and the forced to run a very Teutonic gauntlet. We got Cam Rifle moving up here as well, trying to cover up the retreat. Sherman moving in there, almost getting wiped in the Panzer. There we go, full wipe, but there you go. Both Panzer one pack gain the Sherman, then taken down to half health. Already got the Major with the Bazooka. Can he do enough damage here to the... Oh, never mind. The Sherman is done with that. DevM has no tanks left. Versus Nicko with 2 and the possibility to go for more. More Panzers there for Nicko as well. So the situation for DevM is now pretty horrid. He's lost a lot of Shermans, and while Nicko certainly also had his armoured losses, I mean, all of his Ostwinds are gone. He's not otherwise a stronger position in terms of support weapons and infantry right now than DevM. Good hit there from the Panzer IV, causing more egregious casualties there amongst DevM's infantry. Piles of Americans piling up. And there you go, GG, game over as DevM retreats. A loss here for the 6th Armored Division, a victory for Nicko and Deutschland. So vicious fight here on 1 vs 1 with some really aggressive handling there by Nicko. Certainly shows again what well-handled MG42s can do to an American player. DevM handled interesting. His strategy though was rather offbeat. might have been able to work. I think he got down the mines with some weapon racks, but that didn't quite materialise. Maybe should have brought more mortars. Not entirely sure I could have made that fully work. But I do think he might have gone for one M20 too many there. And I think had he somehow managed to get out tanks first, that would have, or faster, that would have worked out. Maybe a fuel cast at some point would great left there. And just some Rangers. Like, I feel like Rangers have been great here with the Toms. They could have probably torn through a lot of Nicko's support weapons quickly and been able to clear out, say, some of Nicko's packs and machine guns faster. They might also think some better options there for DevM. But still, overall well played both players, but then Nicko just did better there. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family. But don't tell your enemies. From like we do, you can donate or Patreon. Links in the video description. Every donation allows me to keep doing this day after day. So do please consider. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.